Well, it's 8 p.m. It's dark outside. The lights are on, which must mean that, well, winter is coming, but so are softball finals, and we're right around the corner from the big dance. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching around the world. My name is Eric Ballnar. Welcome inside the Softball South Australia complex here on beautiful Ghana land. I am joined by a multi-Cath Coral winning medalist in Kylie Weatherston and a star import from Hills, Courtney Hokinson. Courtney, Kylie, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us here.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Well, the sun has set on the day. We're getting progressively shorter nights here, but it's a short season for Sturt this year, too. The sun is set on their finals chances. They will miss the finals for the first time this millennium, but they still have 2 games to go in the year. They've got a couple small lineup changes, maybe evaluating the future a little bit. And before we get to Seacombe, the big surprise in the lineup, Sophie Walton from under 16s is playing shortstop. In her debut, I think, start at shortstop at the A-grade level, Kylie.
Yeah, this is I see her out there today having a throw right now. Yes, she's played under 16 state, went over to Perth and had a really good tournament, played outfield there. She's also a catcher, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes in the prime spot there of shortstop tonight.
Courtney, you are also a catcher. This is a player that plays under 16s. Any transferable skills from catcher to shortstop?
I would say the biggest one is literally transferring the ball. So I think that if you develop a good transfer as a catcher, you'll definitely be able to have more ball control as a shortstop, ultimately leading to getting more outs at any base.
It'll certainly be a talking point throughout the game. We'll look forward to that. Meanwhile, Seacombe, as they walk up to bat, they're in red-hot form, Kylie, right now. They're going to be playing finals softball for the first time in nearly a decade, and this leadoff batter, Regan Diaz, has a lot to do with it.
Oh, has she ever. She's had another awesome season, the second time here in Adelaide, and she's loved every minute of it. Leading off here for Seacombe and tonight, and she's led off every game, I think, and had a massive influence on all the games. So see how she goes tonight.
In the circle for Sturt is one of Australia's most promising young pitching prospects. It's Ollie Durham, who lays the first pitch in over the plate. Ollie Durham getting some traction and from the national selectors as well, Kylie.
Yeah, they haven't announced the under 18 Australian team yet, but I'm sure we'll see her name there. But yes, she's been in the team the last couple of years, and I think she has a very bright future ahead of her still.
As a pitcher, what do you like about this young South Australian high schooler?
I've had the privilege of working with her in the last few years. Her work ethic is absolutely amazing. She's got natural ability and put those two together, and I'm sure she's going to have a very successful career.
1-1 count to start versus Regan Diaz. She's going to get jammed a little bit. That'll go into foul territory, and that one goes in and out of play. As a catcher, how do you evaluate some of Ollie Durham's stuff, just a young 17-year-old pitcher? 16 even.
Yeah, right. I'm very impressed with the quality of movement pitches that she has at such a young age. She definitely can throw strikes in both sides of the plate, and she can throw high pitches and low pitches, so that's very impressive to throw all of those consistently at her age.
Yeah, she's only learnt the rise this year. We've just been working on the rise this year. She has a beautiful drop ball, and it does also go away. So she's got that naturally, but she has worked on the rise ball, and she's more confident to use it now, which is great to see. There you go.
She gets Diaz swinging for a second strike on the star import. Durham will likely have to be pretty good tonight if she wants a chance, just because Seacombe don't really allow a whole lot of runs. Just 44 on the season. That's second in the competition. And in their 9 games since Christmas, they've only allowed more than 2 runs in 1 game. They have been minimizing damage and won a lot of games because of it, and that's why Seacombe are going to the finals as Diaz saunters to first base.
Yeah, they've had a really good season. You know, they'd be very happy with what they've done, but they also know what's ahead of them. They want to get in these finals and they want to have an impact. So tonight's about another step towards that. They've got it tonight and then one more game against the Hills. And then, yeah, then it's the real business of the season, getting to those finals and having a big impact.
Bree Lint up to bat right now, hitting 152 on the season. Bree lays down a bunt. Right back to Durham. She scoops, she fires, and there's the first out.
Yeah, good bunt there from Breed. Got the ball down where she needed to. Did her job.
Well, a runner in scoring position for someone that has, well, a lot of power. Neely Peterson is 3 home runs on the season, and you can see that bat speed even in the warm-up. She's a threat, Neely Peterson, isn't she, Courtney?
Yeah, for sure. Just her swing going up to the plate, I could imagine as a pitcher being pretty scared and wondering what could happen if you miss a spot.
As a catcher, when you're working with your pitchers, is she someone you would circle in the lineup and say, yeah, we're going to have to approach her maybe a bit different?
Maybe, yeah. I think we play a lot of these teams enough for me to know the strengths and weaknesses. So by the time you play them 3-4 times, I know exactly what pitches to call.
Just 1 run was enough for the Tigers to win their last game in a 1-0 complete game thriller. It went the distance, 7 innings. We've won a few of those this year. Currently sitting on 28 points right now, Seacombe. They are 2 back of both Walkerville and Port. The top 2 teams will play each other in a 1-2 final. The 3 and 4 teams will play each other in an elimination final. And this one is hammered to center field. Maddie Cameron moving back. That rattles at the base of the wall. Diaz scores easily. And Neely Peterson can just walk into second base. That ball was smoked.
Absolutely, yes. So that's one of those situations where you are worried where if you miss a pitch, and it looks like that's what happened, and Neely took advantage of it fully. So
yeah, the height was a little high, and it was in her power zone.
Yep.
But the swing was just beautiful. It went with the ball. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice shot.
She did not miss a piece of that.
Well, Seacombe scored an early run in their last game, the 1-0 win. That was on, though, a bunt scored the run. This is a smash double off the wall. Becky Havis up to bat, hitting .244 on the year, but .333 with runners in scoring position, and she's got a runner there now.
Some pressure here on Ollie now. She just needs to stay calm, keep hitting her spots.
Well, the last time these 2 teams played, Seacombe awoke from a bit of a hitting slumber, you could call it. Before that game, they'd only scored more than 2 runs once in a 5-game stretch. They exploded for 13 runs versus Sturt back on March 1st. They scored 23 runs over the stretch of their next 2 games.
Wow.
And that was sort of the thing with the Tigers all year, is the pitching was good, the defense was good, the bat's a bit inconsistent. That's a bit scary if you're an opponent of Seacombe, knowing that they could ride a bit of confidence with the bat into the finals. Havis can swing it too. That ball a little upstairs. Full count.
Did a great job at holding back there. A couple pitches ago, she swung at it, so she didn't want to do that again. So she did a good job at holding off with that one.
And a good pitch from Ollie too, you know, tempt her, which is what you wanted. So, but she has got full count now, so she's got to make sure I get somewhere in the strike zone. Oh.
And a big strikeout from Ollie Durham. That framed well on the corner, and that's a big-time strikeout. 2 on the board.
As a batter, that's tough to see 3 high pitches basically all in the same spot to then bring it back down low into the zone. So great pitch calling there, but as a hitter, that's really tough to adjust to.
Sarah Tonkin behind the plate right now. Lee at third, Walton at short. Rachel Tonkin at second, Tash Straps at first. Ashlyn Mensforth over at left field. Maddie Cameron moves to center field, and Kennedy over in right. Pretty talented squad and lineup that just hasn't quite been able to string it together this year. They've been around the mark in a lot of games, but they're going to end up just narrowly missing the finals, are Sturt. For the first time this millennium. Well, the ball in the dirt. Sarah Tonkin thought about it, but just bobbled the transfer a little bit.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. Reagan does a good job at seeing the ball in the dirt and going. And so at that point, like with the speed that Reagan has, she'll get there safely 9 out of 10 times. So at that point, it's probably just best to eat the ball.
You combine speed and smarts, and it's a tough base runner to throw out.
Absolutely.
That one fouled away to the right side. Abby Mossman up to bat. She's only played in 14 games this year, Abby Mossman, but looks primed for a bit of a playoff run. Good two-sport athlete as well. And another strikeout in a very similar spot to the one before. So a run is driven home by Neely Peterson. But how about Ollie Durham? 2 strikeouts looking to limit the damage.
Yeah, that's super impressive, but also really good pitch calling by the catcher too, because in order to hit those spots, the catcher needs to call him. So great job by the battery there for getting out of that first inning.
Yeah, and Ollie has good control of the low strike zone. So yeah, very exactly. And Sarah has obviously been catching Ollie now for a while. She knows all the batters in this competition, so put those two together, and you know they have done very well this year for that battery.
Well, walking out into the circle right now is Regan Diaz. She's coming off one of her best performances of the season, if not her best, where she pitched 7 innings, allowing just 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, didn't allow too many base runners in a 1-0 win that kept the Tigers in with a chance to finish in the top 2 spot. And Diaz, I think, can play almost every position on this field right now, but she's been sort of their opener. They'll usually go to Whitney Shepard on the back half, and it's combined under 3 ERA for the pair right here. What do you like about Regan Diaz?
I mean, what I really like is that she is a competitor, not only like in any position that she plays, but also on the mound too. So you have no doubt that she's going to give her best every single time that she steps on the field. So she's definitely one of those players that is intimidating to play against, but also super admirable as well.
I think having Whitney here has helped her keep fresh with her pitching, and the fact that she can play anywhere else in the lineup gives, you know, she come out tonight, she can just go for it. There's no pressure. She knows she's got Whitney there if it's needed, and you know, and it's brought out her best with her pitching this year. But she's also, you can put her anywhere in the field, and she makes an impact there as well. So a very good player for Seacombe, and we're lucky to have her.
Well, around the field, we're used to seeing Abby Mossman play over at third and Sasha Mitzi play at short. Becky Havis is a mainstay at first, and Neely Peterson has been having a great season catching this phenomenal pitching staff. We have a season debutante at her first start of the year over at second, is going after the first pitch is Sarah Tonkin. And that ball drops and then takes a crazy bounce. And that goes foul. Did that bounce back? This will be an interesting Sporties Bar replay.
So Seacombe is saying it's inside the base and then should be a foul ball. Sturt is saying it was outside of the base, so there should be a fair hit. And that's bouncing outside.
That's outside the bit. Well, it's hard to see from that angle. It looks like the ball hit, though, well past the first base, unless that thing had some crazy backspin on it.
Yeah, be interesting to see what the umpires do here. I would call that a safe hit.
I would agree.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it would be possible for it to take a turn on that sharp angle.
Yeah, I'm not sure the umpire...
And it's called fair, so there's going to be a runner at second base. So it is one of the most unconventional doubles that you're going to see of the season.
There's another replay of it.
Yeah, that is for the right call.
Yeah.
Well, now I think Seacombe are wondering where. That's what Bill Benedictson, I think, is asking right now, is where should she be?
But also, can they change the decision from a foul ball to a fair ball? If it's called foul ball, that's what the fielders would have reacted to. So the runner may not have got to second if it was called a fair ball.
It's called a double, unless they're looking at it as like a ground rule double almost situation. Well, Sarah Tonkin's been involved in a lot of crazy plays in her softball career. That one is going to be up there too. It's a double to foul third base territory. How do you score that? A double
Yeah,
to third.
we'll say that, yeah.
The typical double to third. Now her sister Rachel lays down a bunt, a diving effort from Diaz, and she still makes, she's safe at first. Oh, that was so close to spectacular.
What an effort from Reagan to start with. Dove for that ball, just didn't quite get it. Backed up by Becky. And a great stretch by Kathy. Just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yeah, that's Kathy Pash over at second. There's been 2 pitches and 2 chaos balls in the field right now. And now all of a sudden, Sturt are pressuring with the runners on first and third, and one of the best in Maddie Cameron is up to the plate. Maddie will not wait long if she sees a pitch she likes. 2 sort of chaos plays, put 2 runners in scoring position. As a catcher, how do you try to settle things down from here?
If I were playing right now, I would call time and get our team settled because it's easy for us to just, for any team to just spiral after that, after those types of things happen. So just getting our team reset, I think is like one of the most important things that you can do. So that's what I would do, is I would call time. But hopefully Seacombe can bounce back here and make a solid play.
I mean, as a pitcher, you got to wonder what you did to tick off the softball gods a little bit. You get a shallow pop-up to third, doesn't leave the infield, and then a bunt, which was sort of mishandled. It was just a pop shot right away.
Totally. So, I mean, feedback right away is Reagan's doing exactly what she needs to do, pitching it in the places that batters will put it in play so that the defense can make a play on it. But unfortunately, the plays haven't been made.
It's a walk to Maddie Cameron. However, it's not necessarily the worst case scenario. Cameron can smoke it.
Absolutely. So it's probably, she just pitched very carefully, happy with the walk because it now creates the force.
Brings up Tash Straps to the plate. Yeah, if you look at the numbers from Seacombe, Tonkin and Cameron, that's a 356, 333, and 353 marks on the year. But after that, it drops off a little bit. With Straps at 171, Lee at 211. You'd rather try to tempt fate, I suppose, with someone not named Maddie Cameron.
Also gives the field an opportunity to get an out in any base here. Ideally, they want the out at home, but it does give them an opportunity to get an out in any other base as well.
Tash Straps has been a great comeback story, one of the feel-good stories of this softball season. So for so long, she was a state player with the Stars. Had a noted battle with cancer and getting back on the field. An inspirational figure, Tash Straps. All while becoming a mom. And a swing and a miss on a pitch upstairs from Diaz, and there's a crucial first out.
Absolutely.
Jordan Lee, the second Sturt player that can have a crack with bases loaded. And Jordan Lee swings at the first pitch. It's to right field. It drops in for a base hit. One is in. Bases stay loaded, and Sturt have scored their first run in a month. It's 1-1.
Yeah, if I were them, I'd be excited. They are in the perfect position to get something rolling here, and what better time to do it than in the first inning?
Ollie Durham can help herself now.
Absolutely, and she can hit the ball too, Ollie. Don't be surprised what she does here.
Sturt, before that run, had been shut out in 3 consecutive games, having not scored a run since February 13th. Now they can change that fortune in a big way with a couple hits. Good cut from Ollie Durham on a pitch upstairs. That one fouled back.
That one had a little bit extra on it from Reagan.
Sturt haven't played a game in 12 days, so makes it hard to score a run if you haven't played in 2 weeks, granted. Maybe some time away from the field in the game might have been a good thing to reset when you're on a bit of a losing streak. Ground ball over towards second, scooped up by Pash. Quick play home, and that is the smart play from a savvy veteran that you've played with, Kylie Weatherston.
I have had the pleasure of playing with and against back in the day. Kathy's been around a long time, and it's really awesome to see her out there. She knows what she's doing, and that obviously showed there. Had the thought to throw to home to get the out there, to get the lead off. That was a good play from Kathy.
Pleasure to play with. Pleasure to play against.
She's an absolute superstar at the Seacombe Softball Club, and it's really awesome to see her out there.
There's a lot around the softball community too, Kathy Pash.
Yeah, she's the guru. Everyone goes to her when they've got a niggle or something's wrong, and she's more than happy to help anybody. She doesn't know how to say no.
Riley Moore steps up to the plate. Still bases loaded. But it was bases loaded and no outs. You'd like more than one run if you're Sturt in this scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now, as a batter, you just got to pay attention to the pitch pattern. Right now, Reagan's throwing a little bit harder. She's throwing a little bit higher. So if I were them, I would stand a little bit back in the box, time her up, and be ready for that high pitch.
Well, she's got 2 strikes on Moore. What's she looking out here for the out pitch?
I'll be going up, I reckon.
Moore puts it in play, and Diaz takes it herself. They load him up, but they just allow 1 run. Seacombe minimize damage, and they keep this game tied. That is almost a mini win from a Seacombe perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the interesting start of the game, though, like to have a ball bounce over third base like that, and then a diving attempt on that bunt. So Seacombe wouldn't be too concerned at the moment. They need to get in that batting box now and get some more runs.
Well, after Kevin Tannebring umpires his millionth game of softball on Saturday night, and some at the highest levels, winning awards at the highest level, umpiring at the biggest stages of this game, and all over the world, all over the country, up in the APY lands as well. Umpire of the year, national level. After all of that, all of the volunteer work he does, all the mentoring he does, he is calling his last game. He's putting the mask on the plate for the last time, so you can stay at the bar after and celebrate the great KT in game number 1,000,000 for the last time for an umpire that I'm sure, well, you just came to this community this year, Courtney,
yeah.
And I'm sure KT was one of the first people that you would have chatted to.
Absolutely, and he's one of the kindest people I've met here too. So definitely has made a mark in the community for sure.
So make sure you stick around on Saturday and say farewell. Well, maybe if you're on the field is where you got to be saying the farewells too.
Yeah.
I remember KT back when I played. He was a really A-grade umpire back then as well. So it's fantastic to see that he's been around for that long, and we'll very sadly miss him.
What's the 7 p.m. game? It's West Torrens and Sturt?
Yep.
Yes.
B grade, A grade?
A grade, I believe.
A grade. So this is knocked over to the right side. All right. Well, now, if Sturt are going to be out of the finals on Saturday and West Torrens are locked into that 4 spot, we got to stage an ejection. Give them one more.
He'd love that.
Give them one more something to talk about.
Look, I've just had Anthony write on my sheet the score of the other game on Diamond 2 at the moment, and it's close. Glenorgh got 2 and West Torrens got 1, and that's top 4 innings. So that's going to be a close game.
By.
Yeah.
Well, right now, West Torrens on 22 games, they have 23 points. They cannot move up. They cannot move down. They will finish 4th this year.
I think we have a problem.
What is the problem?
Okay, I think what's happened here is Sasha batted then, but we actually have
It was Hannah Cameron who was up to bat. So they batted out of order.
Looks like it, but they haven't actually said it. So
yeah, because this is Hannah Cameron at the plate now.
Yes. Supposed to be Hannah Sasha.
It was supposed to be Hannah and Sasha, and that's what you heard Bill say, is tell me which way it's supposed to go.
No.
We are having some strange things happen in this softball game already. We'll get the call here. there's some confusion about whether it's a correctable offense or not.
As there hasn't been another pitch.
Hasn't been another pitch. But Hannah Cameron has put a ball in play and ended up at first base.
No, Sasha's hit the ball.
Or Sasha has, sorry. Hannah's had played. If it was the correct order. In my scorecard, it says Hannah Cameron, you know.
Right? Yeah, so, yeah, Sasha's, from the list we have, Sasha's batted out of order. But I wonder if it's because we've raised it, as in Seacombe has raised it, it's okay or not? I'm not sure.
Thoughts, Courtney Hokinson?
I have no clue. I wish I did.
Here we go.
I think everybody here is trying to figure out what's going on, too. There's a lot of conversations going on, and she's called out.
That means she's going back to hit again?
But now she should be. So is she out? And is that how it's going to happen? So Hannah Cameron is out. But now Sasha Mutzi, who had a single to 9, will come up to bat again. And she's laughing, I think, right now as she's realized that's what the play is.
Okay. Yeah, so Hannah should have batted, so she's out. So Sasha gets another bat.
Perfect. Can she go 2 for 2 in the space of a minute?
This game's been very interesting, isn't it?
There been some crazy calls that the umpires have had to make pretty early on. Seacombe trying to catch a break. So how does this go down? Is Sasha Mutzi, she's 0 for, this is her first at-bat in the stat category? Okay.
I presume so, yes.
Well, she'll put the ball in play again. It's down the third base line, scooped up by Lee, and she hustles it out. 2 singles in 2 minutes for Sasha Mutzi.
That's got to be a record for sure. Well, Seacombe's doing a good job at putting the ball in play and creating chaos. So hats off to Mutzi for doing it again and starting a rally going, hopefully, for Seacombe.
Well, credit to Seacombe here. They've had a few calls and a few moments not go their way, whether it be the bouncing ball that was originally called foul and then changed to fair, and then they had bases loaded, nobody out. They minimized the damage to 1. Sasha Mutzi has a single. She bats out of order, called out, has to bat again, and she still gets back on base. It's a plucky team. Well, here's an at-bat for Kathy Pash, and she lays down a bunt. It's a good one, and she does exactly the job she needed to do, and that's just put the runner in scoring position.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kathy, a very good bunter. She's got speed, and she doesn't mind putting one down, even a running bunt. So it was good to see a nice sacrifice bunt there. Did her job.
Brings up Tash Mays, and she was the one that caused a bit of chaos in the field versus Glen Elgon Saturday afternoon by laying down a bunt, which forced a run home across the plate after a little bit of hot potato in the field. It was the winning run. Seacombe won 1-0, and it was in the first inning.
Wow.
Seacombe have won a few nail-biters this year. It's probably going to give you an indication of how their finals are going to go. Of late, Seacombe, I'll pull up some numbers for you. I've got them somewhere, don't worry. I know everyone's stressed at home. But Seacombe have not allowed a lot of runs as of late. Just 11 since Christmas. And Sarah Tonkin calls time.
Yeah. Well, it seems like Ollie's been going high for this batter. She's now going low. So I don't know if they're missed pitches or if her dropout feels off a little bit because they're just barely missing the strike zone. So probably just wanted to call time, get her resettled to come back and hopefully pitch some strikes and end this inning.
Yeah, Sturt wouldn't want to walk Tash here because in the batting circle ready to come up is one Reagan Diaz. So if they can limit get Tash out here, then they won't need to have Reagan come up with 2 runners on.
Chop foul. So 2 strikes.
Good pitching there for Molly to come back now.
Absolutely. She's brought her pitches up a little bit to get those last strikes.
Mays right back to Durham, and Durham bends but doesn't break. Gets out of the jam. She had a base runner on with just one out, but no damage done. Diaz won't come to plate with 2 runners on Kylie, and it remains a 1-1 game.
Yeah, that's what Sturt would have definitely wanted in that situation, but it does mean that Reagan will be lead off next innings.
So we'll flip over the lineup. It is a 1-1 game if you're just joining us. It's been a bit of a wacky one. Some calls overturned to start the game, but it's all kind of worked itself out in the wash. It's a 1-1 game. Seacombe scored first. It was a ball that was absolutely smashed by Neely Peterson right off the wall. An RBI double to plate a single run, made it 1-0 game. Not long after, though, Sturt loaded the bases, but they only scored 1 run. They had bases loaded and no outs. Jordan Lee had the RBI on a little soft shot to right field as well. So nothing really has been hard hit off Regan Diaz, even though she's allowed 5 base runners on the day.
Yeah. It's just been an interesting day on defense, that's for sure. So this next inning, I imagine that the same type of thing won't happen. I bet that they've kind of come together, they've resettled, and I think that it's going to be a little bit sharper. So I don't think that the same thing that happened in the first inning will happen here.
Knocked towards right field. It's a leadoff single for Ashlyn Mensforth. Again, not hard hit, just opposite field in the right spot.
Absolutely.
Abby Kennedy will head up to bat, and another big out here because Sarah Tonkin is for sure likely going to get an opportunity with a runner on base. And she's hitting .356 on the year and already has a double to third base today. So, although she's safe at second. And a big expression from Neely Peterson as well. It looked like Mensforth was in trouble.
Oh, that's very close. Nearly held off throwing because the runner hadn't decided which way she was going to go back, if it was going back to first or going to 2. Good throw from Neely, though.
Very close play, but I think Mensforth just got in. Umpires are being put to work today.
Yeah.
My goodness, it is a hard task to be an umpire on some days.
Yeah.
What they've done, though, is they've got both the controversial calls, you could call them, right, even though they've had to go and talk about it and get it done.
Yeah.
Ooh, and that one rides up inside, and that, I think, got the wrist of Abby Kennedy.
I think this is a good time to settle down. Neely is doing exactly that. So just resettling their team, especially with the top of the lineup coming up. So good job by Neely for calling time and resettling their team.
How much of catching is about watching body language of your pitcher?
A lot of it. I think it's not something that it's just something that comes naturally after catching for a while. You just notice that when your pitcher is off after you've been catching for her for a whole season. So it's just something that you have to pay attention to in order for your pitcher to find success and for the team to find success. So that's just something you always have to keep in your mind.
Well, it's a tricky proposition because it's back to the top of the lineup, and it is the terror of Tonkins with .356 average and .333 average, respectively. And that is about par for the course for the Tonkins over their long careers here, as Maddie Cameron at .353 lurks behind them with runners on first and second and nobody out. So Sturt again showing the might that does exist in this lineup. Can they make it happen? Pitch just a little bit on the inside.
Interesting, Sturt here might put the bunt down, as we talked about last time we were on, Eric. Situation here, getting the runners around to scoring position. None out.
Yeah, Kyla, you can correct me if you're wrong, but I know you are from the school of Linda Martin, so I don't know if it's going to be an outrageous statement to say you'd be in the school of thought that says, doesn't matter who's up to bat, runner on first and second, nobody out, you bunt 100% of the time.
Absolutely.
I'm of the school of thought that if you got one of your best batters up to the plate, you let them swing away. So the tiebreaker might go to Courtney Hokinson over here. The question is, do you bunt 100% of the time with runners on first and second, nobody out?
Not 100% of the time, I don't think. Depends on who's hitting. Yeah.
It's a great debate, and that's why there's never a correct answer in softball. It's all very situational. Last time we were proven right, though. They let a great swinger swing away, and it was just a line shot. She was out, and they were stuck with runners on first and second, and one out all of a sudden. Ended up being it cost them a run at the end of that inning.
That's right. Oh, I agree. There is some circumstances, but as I said, I am from the school of Linda Martin, and more times, 99% of the time, we're putting a bunt down. It doesn't matter who was batting.
And the school of thought there is that you have two runners in scoring position, and in this part of the lineup, you'd still have Rachel Tonkin up to bat, who has a .333 average herself, to try to cash in.
Absolutely, and you've got two more opportunities, two more outs that they need to get before those runs can score. So. It's something that I do believe in.
I like the logic, because if you can't execute with runners in scoring position, you're probably not going to win a lot of games regardless. Ball hit in play. This could be two. It gets the lead runner, and the school of Linda Martin wins again.
Good fielding there from Sash. Kept low.
I'll win one of these days. Runners on first and second, one out now. Good battle, though, between Tonkin and Diaz. Pitch just on the inside again. Not missing by much, Diaz.
No, she's not. And I know Neil is doing a good job at trying to get that strike called, too. So, overall, the battery's doing a really good job at getting some of those strikes called, but I can tell that there's just some frustration in the borderline ones here.
What a diving effort from Havis charging in.
Good effort there from Becky. Gave it all, just out of her reach. Interesting, we're bunting with one out now. Obviously with Maddie Cameron in the warm-up circle, would be influencing that decision.
There's a bunch straight up in the air, and they've gone runners in first and second and no out to two down. What a diving effort as well by the catcher, Neely Peterson.
It just shows how important to get that bunt down on the ground. Really need to make sure that bunt's on the ground to give you that chance and make the field do something. Great catch there from Neely, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that could have been a game-changing catch, because if that ball does go into play, then there's a better chance that Sturt does some damage in this inning.
Well, Maddie Cameron swings at something off speed and outside. She does like to go early, Maddie Cameron.
Yeah, good pitch there from Reagan.
Now she goes upstairs. She's moving the ball around a little bit. Wouldn't this be a huge momentum boost for Seacombe, who had bases loaded, nobody out in the first inning. They allow just one run. Runners on first and second with the meat of the lineup up and no outs. Can they get out of another jam?
Oh, great pitch there from Reagan. Look at that one. Off pace. Had Maddie swinging before the ball even got there.
Yeah, that was a really good pitch by Reagan. Really good call, too. You can tell that she's antsy to get a hit. So, change up in that moment is good.
Good battle here. It's a really important out here for Seacombe and a really important batter for Sturt here.
Well, Seacombe was hollering for it, but they just missed the spot. And a big deep breath from Diaz. Full count. Cameron walked her last time up. Pitching her fine. And Cameron went swinging on that one. A bit of a defensive swing, too. But she stays alive, and in that bat, that's now going to go 7 pitches.
Yeah, good battle here. I think the longer, the more pitches that a hitter like Cameron sees, the better chance that she'll get a hit. So right now, Diaz is doing a good job at mixing it up in the zone. There's going to come a time where she's going to see 2 pitches twice, and that's dangerous with a batter like Cameron.
And Maddie Cameron will walk, so bases loaded again. 2 good at-bats from Maddie Cameron. Sees her on base both times. She has been a big reason why Sturt had been on this prolific run of championships and finals and minor premierships and everything in between. Sturt always with one of the best junior programs in the competition. Pretty regular winners of the junior awards as well. Players like Ollie Durham coming up. Develop players like the Fidges, who are off at college. With a core like Tonkin, Cameron, and Belle White will be presumably back next year. I don't think this Sturt team's going too far away.
No, they'll definitely be back next year with more fire, I'm sure.
This one pops straight up by Tash Straps. Seacombe, though, trying to position themselves with a double chance in the finals. The ability to lose their first game is all that means. Playing the 1-2 game and you win, you go straight to the gold medal game, the championship final. If you lose, you play the winner of the elimination final, which is the 3-4 spot. As it stands right now, Seacombe would be playing Walkerville, or not Walkerville, West Torrens rather, in the elimination final. Whether Steph Trzynski will be in the lineup, that's another question. We certainly hope she is.
Big question. Definitely.
And that would be a game changer for sure. And a swing and a miss! And a big reaction, too, from Diaz, who gets out of a bases-loaded jam again.
Yeah, great job by both Reagan and Neely here calling the pitches. They went high and then high again, and she went down swinging. So great job by the battery there. Pitch calling was amazing.
Seacombe flirting with fire, but they've yet to be burned. It stays a 1-1 game after 2 innings. It's an entertaining one here, and if you want more entertainment, don't forget, Softball Awards Night, March 23rd. Make sure you scan that QR code, and you get your tickets now. $45 for members, $55 for non-members. On the theme of awards, Courtney and Kylie, I was just handed an award that Spacequake Sports have just won as of tonight from the Office of Rec and Sport of South Australia. The inaugural Power of Her Media Champion Award for 2025 goes to Spacequake Sports. David Muggleton is on site. And he's looking very dapper, I might say, right now. He's wearing a tie, which is crazy from Dave Muggleton right now. But he a big win, just recognizing a lot how these live streams, especially with softball, have benefited women in sport in South Australia. So a big congratulations to Dave Muggleton, the Spacequake Sports team, and everybody who has been a part of these streams and these broadcasts showing softball from this beautiful corner of the world all across the globe as Diaz swings at the first pitch, pops it into foul territory, and she lives to fight another day. So congratulations to Spacequake Sports. If you don't follow them already, I'm sure they'll post about what that award means, but pretty cool from Dave Muggleton and the Spacequake Sports team, which both of you are part of. So congratulations as well.
And to you.
Thank you. Yes.
Diaz fouled one away earlier. Now she watches one on the outside. Ollie Durham has allowed a walk in 3 hits so far in this game. Well, 2 hits in the scorebook. She's got out of some trouble, too. It's not been as checkered as Diaz, but both teams are holding.
Absolutely.
Thumb over a garden hose situation, it sort of feels like right now.
Yeah, totally. I'm noticing Ollie also changing up her pitches. So a lot of times when you go through the first time in the lineup, you kind of go through the same pitch pattern, but she's been switching it up pretty consistently, which I think has helped her find a little bit more success than she would have if she stuck with the same pitch pattern. So hats off to the battery there for calling the right pitches and for, staying competitive that way.
Diaz fouls off a pitch. 2 strikes on the board. Durham has 3 punch-outs on the day. All of them have been looking.
A good battle here. Very hard to get Reagan out.
She walked and scored in her first at-bat. Into foul territory again. Remember, there was a dropped foul effort earlier. That one would have been an extraordinary catch from Tash Straps trying to run that down.
Yeah, that would have been a really good catch. The first foul ball would have been a better one, more likely to get for Sturt for sure.
But they've given second life to someone you don't really want to give too many opportunities to.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts on the board for Ollie Durham. That's a big one. Gets the leadoff in Reagan Diaz down on strikes.
That was a good pitch too. Up in the zone. Made her chase it.
Bit of movement too.
Yeah.
Brings up Bree Lint. Well, right now the MO would be avoid a base runner for Neely Peterson, who waits on deck, and she's responsible for that one that you see on the scoreboard next to the Seacombe name. Just outside. Yet to see shortstop Soph Walton be tested yet in this game in her debut at short.
Got a quick score update from the other diamond. Glenelg still 2 runs to West Torrens 1, and it's in the top 7.
Well, Glenelg made a bit of a charge, but just a little bit too late. I think they were chasing their tails a little bit too much. A win here would leapfrog Sturt, provided Sturt lose this game as well. Glenelg can finish with a maximum 22 points on the season. West Torrens will have 1 game after this. They're sitting on 23 and firmly in 4th. Glenelg charge late. Who's driven in the runs for Glenelg today, Kylie?
Let's have a look.
My gut would tell me someone like Sydney Horton would probably be around the mark. She's had a colorful few weeks as well.
Emily Price has had an RBI. Sasha Penglaze has had an RBI. We got here Georgia Bevins had a safe hit with Emily Price. Yeah.
Emily Price going the distance again. She was on the wrong end of a 1-0 heartbreaker to Seacombe, which eliminated Glenelg from the finals on Saturday, as Lint will walk. And there's a base runner for Neely Peterson. How do you attack her differently, knowing her last at-bat, she hit the hardest ball we've seen tonight off the wall?
Yeah, I would honestly start, I would try to hit, obviously, first pitch strike outside corner for Neely, because her power is on the inside for sure. Anything like belt level, she's cranking. Yeah, so
I'd go outside low, keep it low, and I make her hit a ground ball.
Yep.
Anything up that high is just going to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In and belt is no.
Right. Great pitch there.
You watch Ollie pitch. She doesn't show anything. She's very calm and collected with her pitching. Doesn't show any emotion. Just gets on with the job.
No, that's exactly true to word. That's where Tonkin is working her right now with Ollie Durham.
Absolutely. Going outside is a good choice. Throwing too many outside pitches might put you in some danger.
Being close. Sarah just checking with the umpire where if it was too low or too inside.
Just missed again. Well, you knew she was always going to tread carefully with Neely Peterson. But it is 2 runners aboard by care of 2 free bases. And the 4 and 5 batters in Becky Havis and Abby Mossman have an opportunity to put the Tigers in front. Now, it wasn't too dissimilar in the first inning when Diaz walked and then Peterson had the double to score. Runner in scoring position, chance to compound some more runs. And Durham got Havis and Mossman looking.
Becky will hopefully learn from that last turn at bat, so might see some early swings in her bat this time. Wouldn't want to give her anything too nice to hit though, because Becky can hit a ball as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And Havis's average has been creeping up from Christmas to this point. Hitting 244 on the season, but it was a little lower a couple weeks ago. She's hitting 333 with runners in scoring position. And that number will go up. Runner will be held up at third, though, so even though it's a safe hit, it'll load the bases. And both these teams are just putting pressure on the opposing pitcher.
First pitch, that was, what we just said before.
Yeah,
get after it early. Good piece of the ball there, back up the middle.
She did a good job at adjusting and attacking early, which is exactly what you said, Kylie.
Yeah.
So good job to Becky.
First pitch strike.
Ollie is very good at getting early strikes, so it's something that Seacombe would be looking at, getting after those early pitches.
Sturt have left 6 base runners on in 2 innings, mind you. Pretty much the most you could do. And so far, 2 base runners left in 2 innings by Seacombe. They've loaded the bases here. And a chance to land the first big blow tonight. Pitch outside. If Abby Mossman can't get it done, Hannah Cameron waits on deck, although a double play in the realm of possibility. Teenager Ollie Durham trying to hold her nerve, and a big strike thrown again.
Yeah, good pitch there from Ollie.
It was a great job at hitting that corner. She just missed it the last couple pitches and did a great job at coming back for this last one.
Swing and a miss. Ollie Durham with another big strikeout with runners in scoring position, and there's 2 on the board.
She's not afraid to pitch the same pitch multiple times in a row, that's for sure, and it looks like it paid off just now, so good job to her.
It's her 5th strikeout of the evening. 4 of them have come with runners in scoring position. She has ended the first 2 innings with a strikeout of note.
As I say, this Hannah up to bat now. This is her first turn at bat. She was the unfortunate batter who was called out.
That's right.
Hitting out of the order. So this is actually her first turn at bat tonight.
With Sasha Mutzi, who will be on deck, and she's 2 for 2, but it'll go down the scorebook as 1 for 1.
Oof.
Gets the call upstairs.
Not the one Hannah wanted.
Right back up the middle to Durham. Scoop and fire. Seacombe leave them loaded. And both of these teams pressure, but they can't find the breakthrough.
Ollie is doing a great job at pitching in stressful situations. She is hitting those corners so well. So hats off to her in such pressure situations so far in this game.
We've played 5 half innings of softball so far, and the bases have been left loaded 3 different times. It has been a colorful game. It feels a bit like that. I don't know if did you have that game in Australia when you were growing up called Trouble? Remember that game? Did you have that?
Yeah, I had.
Yeah,
I
remember
remember
those
that
commercials that were like, "It's fun getting into trouble." That's what it feels like this game is right now. Both these teams are just, having some fun getting into trouble.
Looks like we've got a few changes to the Seacombe fielding lineup. Whitney's going to come into pitch.
Yeah, and this is the ERA leader of the competition among all qualified pitchers this season. Whitney Shepard with a 0.93 ERA. Just edging out right now Taylor Caudill, who is slightly below 1 in terms of qualified pitchers in the competition. She has been phenomenal this year, Whitney Shepard.
Yes, and Reagan looks like she's gone to second base, which means Kathy has finished her second base debut for the Seacombe A grade for this season. So well done to Kathy. And so Reagan's gone there at second base now.
And this is sort of how it's been all season long. It opens with Diaz, it ends with Shepard, and you can't imagine that changing too much in the finals either.
Yeah, there's lots of conversations to have. Because obviously Whitney pitches for me in the B grade as well. So we'll see what happens in the finals.
You'd be hoping for what? A complete game Regan Diaz shutout, just a no-hitter in the 7 innings.
I just want to see that. Obviously, A grade is priority, so hopefully A grade go very well, very well.
Jordan Lee leads things off for Sturt. A game that's had a lot of base runners, but not a lot of runs, strangely enough. There's been 9 base runners in 2 innings so far. All bar 1 player have been on base already for Sturt. Seacombe wouldn't be too different.
Both teams are doing a great job at getting on base, obviously, putting the bat on the ball, creating chaos. But the thing that both teams need to do is just get them to score. So just stringing the hits together, I think, should be the main focus for the next couple innings here.
Pressure pitching has been pretty great.
Yeah, Ollie's just doing a fantastic job tonight. Whitney's coming in now. She's going to have the same pressure put on her.
And it's a leadoff walk. So, again, the leadoff runner is aboard for Sturt. Leadoffs have been on all but 1 of the half innings so far, 5 of the 6 half innings.
So it looks like we're having a change in batters. So Ollie's not going to come up, and we've got, I can't see who it is actually.
It looks like Hannah Robson too, although I think it might be Hannah Smart now. So Hannah Smart will enter the game for a bit of a pinch hit. We'll see what that means pitching-wise as well.
I'm pretty sure there'll be a quick re-entry. Now that was interesting. Called a foul ball.
What can Sturt manufacture? Remember back in the last inning, they had bases loaded and Tonkin, and Cameron up to bat, and they couldn't score anything. And now quickly behind on 2 strikes to the dangerous Whitney Shepard. Three-pitch strikeout, just like that for Whitney.
Yeah. It looks like she needed a batter to kind of get comfortable, but now it looks like she found her rhythm, so that's pretty good. We'll see if she continues to go with that rise ball for this batter here.
Whitney Shepard on the season, 56 innings pitched. She's allowed just 7 runs. She has 61 strikeouts, now 62 strikeouts in her 56 innings. She's only walked 11.
Very impressive.
In terms of your pitching leaders on the year, the 0.93 ERA leads all qualified pitchers. Taylor Cottle at 0.95, and then Liz Engler at 2.03 in third right now. So it shows the separation that Shepard has in terms of her season. 8-1 record as well. Riley Moore pops one up in foul territory.
That foul ball nearly hit KT. Don't get injured yet, KT.
Yeah.
One more game, mate.
KT's last game on Saturday if you're around the ballpark. A 7 p.m. finale. Ground ball over towards second. She got the tag. It's a double play. A 1-2-3 inning. Lead runner gets on, but again, Seacombe navigate their way through it and keep the inning scoreless. Take a look at the Sporties replay here. Easy tag, easy fire, easy double play. Now, what's not been easy is scoring runs this game. There's been plenty of opportunities. But teams leaving runners on base. We're now an hour through the game. No new innings after 85 minutes, which means teams are only going to have a couple more cracks at this. Well, if you've ever been stuck in the cold, have you been stuck in the cold, Kylie?
At West Beach? Yes.
Have you been cheering on your team?
Absolutely.
Battling sore muscles?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, how about you buy one of these from Happy Lap Co. It's a heated scarf and body wrap, and all of those problems will be great because you won't have to have that, that bag that is stuff to stay in place when you're out there on the West Beach wind, especially finals time.
Absolutely.
Temperatures getting a little cooler. It'd be cool to see a bunch of people wear those on those packed grand finals Saturday. They're lightweight, they're versatile, and it comes with a rechargeable battery that offers 2 to 4 hours of continuous heat. That's 2 softball games that you can get through. So make sure you check out happylapco.com. The winner of today's player of the game is going to get one of the Happy Lap Co. scarves out here.
Cool.
They're also going to get a voucher from Sparms for the sleeve. So you could have a sleeve. You could keep yourself protected from the sun, protected from the cold, and protected from hunger with a food and beverage voucher from Sporty's Bar. So it's the trifecta on offer tonight for the player of the game, and this is a complicated one early. So yeah, get thinking. We're already an hour in. Create your shortlist. There's a lot on the line. A lot of protection on the line here.
Yeah.
Sasha Mutsi leads things off. She singled twice in 2 minutes the last time she was up to bat. Well, if she could get a hit and score, she might be in line for this Sparms player of the game that gets you protection from hunger, cold, and sun. Pitch down low. She's on base for a second time today. And again, for the 6th time of the game, the leadoff runner is aboard. Now Whitney Shepard, who came in for Kathy Pash and then swapped over to pitcher. She'll take her place in the lineup as well and step up to bat. Lays down the bunt. It's a good one and does the job, but the ball throws away. Put the ball in play and good things tend to happen. It's 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out.
She did a great job at executing there. And at the end of the day, they're just trying to get the runner in scoring position, which ended up happening. But fortunately for Seacombe, they got a little bit more than what they were asking for.
Been a game of pressure points so far. Now Tash Mays steps up to bat. She had the bunt that caused the run in Seacombe's win on Saturday. Yet to have a hit yet on the season. This would be a cool time for one.
Absolutely.
Pops one straight up.
This game seems to be coming down to which team can handle chaos the best.
That's a great way of putting it, Courtney Hokinson.
Yeah, thank you.
Ground ball charging on over at short is Walton, and she makes the play, and that is her first play she's had to make. The under 16 rep getting her first start at shortstop. That one would feel good just to have out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Held the runner at third, sorry, I was just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a base runner on third, I think if the ball gets hit hard to third or pitcher, you stay. Any other ball, you go. So I think she could have been safe on that one. But still held her.
Reagan Diaz crunches one to center field. Making the catch is Maddie Cameron. Runner is tagging. It will score a run. The ball slips away. It could be another, but Shepard has to pounce back up onto third. Either way, it's a line drive sacrifice fly from Regan Diaz that has put the Seacombe Tigers up 1.
Good running there from Seacombe. Tagged up early on the catch. Got going. Whitney slid there. Probably should have tried to get home on that one, I reckon.
Probably, yeah. Great adjustment hitting, too, by Reagan, too, with how the last at-bat went. So I know she wanted to come out firing, and that's exactly what she did.
Bree Lint has a walk to her name already. On deck is Neely Peterson. There are now 2 outs on the board right now. Lint can get aboard. There'd be at least 1, maybe 2 on the bases. If there's not 2, it'd be because they've scored another run. Flares one over towards right field. Having to move back is Kennedy, and she can't handle it. 1 run is in. Runner will stand at 2, and again, Seacombe starting to control the chaos, and they have a 2-run lead.
It was always going to be a very difficult ball to catch, having to go backwards and then change direction as well. You see there, she's run that one, turned around, just snapped at it, basically.
Yeah, you could tell she's frustrated with herself, too, but that is a hard ball to track as well.
And now Sarah Tonkin calls a quick time to try to lighten the mood. A few laughs coming in the infield just to loosen the mood a little bit.
Absolutely. And as a leader in a situation like this, you just got to lighten the mood a little bit and just allow the defense to relax. So great job by Tonkin for calling time and allowing the defense to resettle there for a little bit.
It's a big at-bat, though, with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, and Neely Peterson, who's got a double and a walk and an RBI, can provide a little bit of daylight between themselves and Sturt. That ball on the outside. It's the 3rd time through the lineup as well for young Ollie Durham. Pitch again on the outside. Again, pitching so carefully, Courtney, isn't she, to Neely Peterson?
Yes. I think that whatever happens here, like she needs to be careful, and if it ends up with a walk, then at the end of the day, I don't think that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you don't want to put anything over there that's going to go. So she's now created a situation where there's a force that gives her fielding team behind her a chance to, gets out on any base now.
The top 3 in this Seacombe lineup have been effective today. Diaz has the walk and a run, and then she had the line out, which scored a run on an RBI. Bree Lint has helped cash in a run and walked, and Neely Peterson is 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Now Becky Havis, who already had a hit with a runner in scoring position in the 3rd, steps up to bat. This time's got 2 runners on base.
Pressure's off a little bit because they now have a couple insurance runs, so which is good. So we'll see what Becky does here in the situation.
Maybe a swing with confidence. Davis starting to heat up right in time for finals.
It's a good time to heat up.
The best time.
Time.
Maybe 2 weeks later, maybe in finals, but getting close to it.
Yeah, right.
A lot to play for Seacombe. They won in that 1-2 game. Give themselves a double chance in the finals. Ground ball over towards short. Pressure play for the under-16s player, and that's as cool as you'd like from Sophie Walton.
Well done to Sophie there. Kept her cool, calm, collected, stayed low on the ball.
She
came up throwing.
Yeah. She kept her composure. She did a good job at finishing that play.
Bill White would be proud.
Had the runner in front of her as well, trying to field that ball. Makes the play, but Seacombe in the 4th inning, they bring 7 runners to the plate, and it all started with the walk and then just a couple fielding miscues end up being damaging. Whitney Shepard on the bunt had the ball thrown away, and then the drop catch in right field. That all equals 2 runs, and that is the margin right now as we head to the 4th. Eric Ballnar, Kylie Weatherston, Courtney Hokinson calling all the action for you. Courtney, this is your last couple weeks of playing softball in South Australia, then you're sticking around for a little bit after. Have you found the softball community in Adelaide this year?
It's been awesome. Like, I haven't been a part of a community like this before, like a softball community like this in my life. Like, I've never been like friends with people from the other team. I've never actually like talked to umpires before after the game. So it's been absolutely amazing and such a blessing to be a part of. I never expected to be a part of something like this, so it's been really, really cool.
And you're calling games as well, so we're happy to have you around. You've been around the community, too. It's been great to see, so hopefully you've enjoyed your time in South Australia.
Yes, I have. It's been amazing. And warm.
And warm, especially this last week. It's been sort of 1,000 away.
Yeah.
Have you got to travel around the state at all in South Australia or around the local Adelaide area?
No, not much. I went down to Goolwa, like in that area, Port Elliot. I've been over to Perth. I played over there for a weekend, which was really fun. But that's about it.
Kangaroo Island? Did you go
and I went to Kangaroo Island. Yes, that too.
You've probably done most Adelaide people do.
Yeah.
Ground ball over towards first. Nice trap from Havis, and men's fourth retired. One down as Whitney Shepard keeps it cool. Abby Kennedy steps up to bat. Yeah, when you tell your friends and family back in Minnesota about softball in South Australia and in Adelaide maybe in general, what are the first couple, well, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Yeah.
What are the first couple words that you use to describe to your mates back, your buds back in Minnesota?
Well, they ask how it would compare to the conference that I played in college, and I say that it's pretty comparable. I would say the range is a little bit broader though, so like the best player is better than better than our best player in their conference, but the worst might be worse than our worst. So the range is a lot bigger, but overall the competition is still really competitive. I was surprised to come in and know that there are like former Australian national team members,
Olympians,
like current members and up and coming members. So that was really cool to learn. So. For the most part, I just say it's very competitive and very similar to where I'm from, at least in college.
Well, you speak about that range, and you can probably look at Sturt as a great case in point for that example. Is Belle White played most of the season. She's pregnant right now, but she played a lot of shortstop and was shortstop all of last year, and she's an Olympian. And then today we're watching the debut of a 15-year-old that's on the under-16 state team that would be part of that range because she's only 15. She hasn't gone to college. There's Belle White on screen right now, part of the 2020 or 2021 Tokyo Olympic squad with the Aussie Spirit, now coaching with the Sturt Falcons. But there's that range. I mean, Walton's still got her softball development ahead of her and her best softball ahead of her. She's made 2 plays at shortstop in the A-grade competition, and they've all been tonight. So there's that range that you're describing. 1,000 fielding percentage, better than Belle White. Sophie Walton has a better fielding percentage than Belle White, everybody. And then you have some players that are making a glorious return to the game today, like our starting second basewoman on Seacombe and Kathy.
Absolutely.
Tonkin puts the ball in play. And an easy play from Diaz, and it's 2-1-2-3 innings from Whitney Shepard, and she just looks composed, doesn't she?
Absolutely. It doesn't seem like anything is phasing her at the moment, which is really good for Seacombe. But for Sturt, I would be a little worried.
Well, they're probably going to have one more crack at it. They will for sure have one more crack at it, given that we still have 10 more minutes before no new innings right now. And well, Kylie, the Softball SA Pathways Classic is coming up in April at a few different locations. Registration links aren't quite up quite yet. What was that announcement? We're trying to eavesdrop over the thing, but yeah. Do you know anything about the Pathways Classic, Kylie, that you can tell us?
Actually, no. I've only been seeing what I'm seeing on Facebook, and I think there was another Facebook post about it again today. But you can see there from under 16s and under 18s have a weekend each where those players can register and go out to those to really reserve for the under 16s and an Emo Park for under 18s and show their stuff.
Well, a new pitcher for Sturt as well. Coming into the game is Tash Straps. She's played on state teams before. It was always that change-up that would buckle a few batters from Tash Straps.
Actually a very famous name for Seacombe with Rebecca Straps. Strapsy, shout out if you're listening. A fantastic player for the Seacombe pitcher as well. So it's nice to see another Straps still playing.
Yeah, here I am trying to look up the stats for Straps, and I was just under the Seacombe pictures being like, where is she? But, no Straps there. So this is actually Tash's first pitching appearance of the season for her.
For A grade, yeah. I know she has
A-grade,
pitched a couple of times in B grade. I've seen her pitch a couple of times in the B grade competition.
So great to see Tash kind of complete that full return now back to the A grade top level in South Australia. An incredibly strong woman, Tash Straps. That was a big journey. The cancer diagnosis, also having her first child in that time as well, and working hard enough to get back on the diamond, where she spent a lot of her Saturdays and Wednesday nights over her whole life, really.
Yes.
Whether it be playing, watching mum, or sometimes doing both. She'll go against Abby Mossman, Hannah Cameron, and Sasha Mitzi. Strike has been called again. B grade finals also happening this weekend. Is
semi-finals, yes.
Semi-finals. Who's in the semi-finals of B grade? You got to give us the update.
Walkerville finished first. Seacombe finished second, so we're 1 versus 2. So we're playing Walkerville.
And the winner of that goes straight to the grand final, and the loser will play the winner of
Sturt and West Torrens.
Maybe we'll see Tash Straps in that game too. Ball down the third base side. What a throw across the diamond. As Lee makes the play.
I think we've called that
foul.
A foul ball.
Good throw either way. Now this really is a fun time for softball in South Australia. You got the B grade finals happening over the next couple weekends. A grade finals starts on the 22nd with a double header. That's be new in recent years. It used to be game on Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. Now it's that double header on Saturday, which sees the elimination final and that qualifying final. We'll broadcast both of those games. Ball is popped up. 2 down.
Remains 1,000 fielding percentage for Sophie Walton.
Still better than Bell White.
Yeah.
Make sure we tell Belle that too.
She'll love it, though.
Yeah, she would.
Now, softball on the 29th is the grand final down here for A grade, the Premier League. And that's a fun one to be at. All the teams that aren't even playing in the grand final, they always seem to make their way down as a group. Usually pockets of different teams all watching it. This place has a cool vibe to it. There's usually always a good baseball crossover as well. A lot of the baseball guys come down and watch as well. And this place is literally right field, left field, all down the outfield.
Wow.
People packed in to watch. That grandstand is full.
Yep.
And in some tight games, there is a bit of an electric atmosphere down here. And we've had some good ones over in the years.
Yeah. Even back in my day, we used to be on the baseball diamond playing over there, and the hill used to be the place to be, out the back, watching the grand finals.
And the 1,000 fielding percentage continues for Sophie Walton.
It's got a magnet on it at the moment.
Four plays she's had to make in the last couple innings.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a young player, that's just got to be a confidence game for you.
Absolutely. She's doing a great job at playing her position.
And Sturt have done as good as a job, maybe better job than most clubs in terms of developing the high-end players is over the last, if you take the last 20 years of the track record of the caliber of player that Sturt have developed, it is right there at the top.
Absolutely, and it's great to see the kids getting a chance. Just a taste every now and then. You know, Sophie will enjoy this and she'll remember it forever.
Straps ground ball. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Tash Straps. A big smile on her face, and then crucially, she keeps it held to a 2-run lead.
Yeah. She does have a funky spin on her pitch, which I think as a hitter would be really hard to hit. So she did a great job at coming in here and doing exactly what she needed to do.
A feel-good inning for Sturt, pitching and defensively. And yeah, Sturt, they'll miss the finals this year, but they've got such a good junior program coming up. Players like Walton, players like Ollie Durham, who is only going to get better. The catch-22 with all of Sturt's development is always the last couple years they keep rolling through different local pitchers that keep going to America to play 4 years of Division I college somewhere right now. You keep seeing great updates from players like Millie Fidge, who's having a very good season at Hawaii right now, and Ruby Fidge also overseas. Neve Adams was playing college baseball at one time too before coming back. So it's sort of the byproduct of developing strong juniors is they go away to play a high level of softball before coming back. But when they return, they come back with vengeance.
Absolutely. And that's what, Sturt, I'm sure they're hanging out for the girls to come back and have an impact on the competition again.
And you see that right now with some stars of the game. You look at Aussie Spirit player and the star of West Torrens, and Maddie Scott has come back, and she's been so fun to watch this year. Steph Trzynski, when she came back, I remember watching that much-anticipated Steph Trzynski return game, and if you watched Steph this season at all, I know it's a limited sample size, it was pretty much like that. Well, last chance saloon for Sturt. This will be the end of the ball game after this inning. It's the 2, 3, 4 in the lineup, and Rachel Tompkin grounds one to second. How about the range from Regan Diaz?
That's she has great range. If you have any other defender playing second base, who knows if they'll actually get that ball.
Looked like it actually came off Whitney.
Yeah, it looked like that too. I saw that ricochet as well.
I mean, that's in slow motion, but her feet were still moving quick. Yeah. And she's down in position, and the Sporties Bar replay shows another out. So 2 down. Now this is where both of you, Kylie and Courtney, we need to start looking at the scorebook for some potential players of the game. There's a lot on the line. I've got one in mind. We'll each present a case, I suppose, and we'll just see how the voting shakes down in this I feel a lot of pressure though. There's no immediate standout, right? Like, it's been a team effort on both sides of things, and there's 3 things on the line: a food and beverage voucher from Sporties, a player of the match award from Sparms for those arm sleeves, and from Happy Lap Co. something to keep you warm on Grand Final Sunday. And both, well, for at least Seacombe, they will be hoping they won't have to use it on Grand Final Sunday. They want to be playing in Grand Final Sunday.
Absolutely.
Can Maddie Cameron get a spark going? Well, you never know. If 2 of Cameron, Straps, and Lee can get on base, it might set the stage for an Ollie Durham to have a moment to try to walk it off to win. That's the pathway.
That would be cool for a young player.
Long way to go, though, and to do that, they're going to have to get a couple base runners off of Whitney Shepard, who leads the competition in ERA. She's allowed just 7 runs this season. And Seacombe have allowed more than 2 runs on 1 occasion in 2025.
Wow.
So if you score 3 runs in your Seacombe, you're looking pretty good. They've lost 3 games, though, in 2025 by a couple 1-run margins. And there's a big strikeout. And you can see her point to her catcher in Neely Peterson, Whitney Shepard.
Yeah, I mean, both of them did a great job at executing there. Neely obviously calling behind the plate, and then Whitney hitting that pitch. That is right at the top of the zone, and she did a great job at hitting that.
1 out away from creating a 3-way tie at the top. And that ball's foul. If Seacombe get this 1 out, there'll be 3 teams at 30 points with just a week and a half to go, and only 2 of them will be playing in the 1-2 finals game.
Which is really good for the competition, isn't it? Like, to have teams vying for that 1-2 spot.
Seacombe trying to win their 4th in a row. 2 weeks ago, we sat here, Kylie, and we said Seacombe are going to need to win their last 5 games if they want any chance at finishing top 2. Well, they're on the verge of winning their 4th with 1 game to play. Swing and a miss. 4 in a row for the Tigers. A 3-1 win where they had to bend their way out of trouble. All right, we got to go quickly here. Who are we thinking for the player of the game?
Oh, gosh. Do you have someone in mind?
I'm thinking Neely Peterson, because she got on base 3 times, she caught 2 different pitchers, and she had to kind of captain their way as they got out of trouble early in the stages.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy with that too, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you chat amongst yourself. I'm going to go grab Neely Peterson.
She did do a great job, you know, as you said, calling 2 different types of pitches and really controlled the field there. She knew what she was doing there. And in the batting box, she showed her you know, nice double there to start off with, and then 2 walks that she needed to throw very carefully to her. So, yeah, well done to Neely.
Absolutely. She did a great job at setting the tone up right in the beginning of the game and also staying consistent on defense throughout the whole game as well. And also, like the whole it was a team effort. Like the whole team contributed in some way, shape, or form, which ultimately allowed them to end up taking the win today.
Absolutely. As you said, that's their 4th win in a row, so they've got 1 more game against yourselves, the Hills, on Saturday. So that'll be an interesting game as well. But yeah, well done to Seacombe tonight. They definitely walking to the finals very, very well. So we're just going to let the girls shake hands with the Sturt team, and then Eric will be able to grab Neely, who's our winner tonight. As you said, so she's receiving a dinner voucher, the
Sparms, the heat protectant.
Yes. So she'll be warm.
Gear. Yes, and then
sunburnt. She'll get sunburnt, and then she'll have something nice to eat as well. So
yes.
I think it was a good winner
A
tonight.
lot on the line, yes.
So we'll just. Neely's just come over and spoke to Eric, so we'll go over to Eric right now. No, we're still going to keep going until there's a chance to set up. So once they're all ready, we'll just get the okay. Then 3, 2, 1, we're over to Eric now.
Well, I'm down here with our player of the game. It's Neely Peterson. I'm going to give you something, 1 for every time you were on base tonight, all right? So we'll give you the Happy Lapco, some warmth for that RBI double off the wall that you had earlier. And for your first walk, you get the Sparms voucher for some protection from the sun. And here's some protection from hunger with a food and beverage voucher from Arkaba for the second walk. There's 3 times on base, 3 runs on the board. But, Neely, can you walk me through the early stages of that game? Because they loaded the bases twice. You limited them to 1 run. How did you see that behind the plate today?
Yeah, I'm just really confident in the team, and I think we're confident in each other, especially on defense. Like, it's really just coming together. We know that when we get in those situations that we trust each other, and it's going to be fine.
Well, what sort of clicked here in 2025? Because you're now 7-3 since the second half began, and only 1 time this team has allowed more than 2 runs in a game. What's been working pitching and defensively for you?
Yeah, I think that being part of the battery, I have a great connection with Reagan and Whitney, and our defense is just playing so great behind them. Again, we communicate really well. We trust each other, and I think that's a really huge factor. So we just know that if we do mess up, we're going to get the next one.
Is there anything that you think that you're missing that you're trying to really push in the last now couple games before finals begins?
I don't think so. I think our confidence has really come through, and it's showing with our bats. Obviously, our defense looks great. So I think we're really peaking at the right time, and I'm really confident for us in finals.
Now, one final word here. I want to talk about both the pitchers tonight. What was working the best for Regan Diaz tonight, do you think?
Reagan she hits her corners so well. Like, we pound the inside a lot and just challenge hitters to beat us. And so far, they really haven't been able to. So I just really trust Reagan to hit her spots. She trusts me to make the call, and it just works.
And Whitney was par for the course for her performance this season. What was working for her?
Yeah, Whitney has that up ball, which is just really tough for batters to get on top of. But, just kind of keeping it consistent, and it's working.
Great insight from our player of the game. The catcher, Neely Peterson, also had a huge double in the first inning. The Tigers, they forced a 3-way tie at the top with just a week and a half to go in the season. Neely, congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Mom. And Dad.
Back to you in the booth.
Thanks, Eric, for that. Well done. Congratulations to Neely in receiving those awards tonight. And she's actually talked about having the confidence in her team is a bit major factor. And I think if Seacombe keep going the way they are, using their confidence, they'll have a real impact in the finals.
Absolutely. Based off of what Neely said, that's a really good spot to be at heading into the final part of the season. So good job to Seacombe, good job to Neely, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and the confidence she has in her pitches. She said, she trusts that Reagan hit her spot on the inside, and then Whitney having that rise ball has really had gives her the ability to be able to call a really good game because she knows what her pitchers can do.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Courtney, Kylie, thanks very much for calling the game today. It was an entertaining one. It's going to be a crazy finish with 2 spots remaining for the 1-2 game. The loser of those 3 teams will have to play West Torrens in the elimination final. We have broadcasts on Saturday. KT's last game on Saturday night. Season concludes on Wednesday, week from now. 1 week. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, my goodness. This time has flown. So I appreciate you, Courtney Hoganson, for stepping in the broadcast booth, too.
Anytime.
Congratulations to the award-winning Spacequake Sports. Another award tonight on their belt. Producer Brandon and everybody in between. Happy birthday, Murray. And we will see you on Saturday.